question. Is the success of Manchester City the scariest thing for the future of football? I asked the question because a couple of weeks ago, Man City became only the second English team to complete a treble, winning the Premier League, FA Cup, and the Champions League in the 2022-23 season. The club have been on a tear domestically. They have now won the Premier League title in 7 of the last 12 seasons. Outside of league football, a run of 4 consecutive League Cups ended in 2022, and the 2009 FA Cup win completed an unprecedented domestic treble. In the backdrop of all that success, they are facing 115 charges for allegedly breaking financial rules. I'll ask again. Is the success of Manchester City a scary thing for the future of football? Well, there's really one way to find out. Do you all remember how you felt when this happened? I do. I clearly remember thinking, this will never end, will it? I will spend the rest of my days watching this unbeatable behemoth of a football team, as it was never going to end. Watching City dismantle every team put in front of them. As someone who was scared of this happening, I can't lie, I was relishing the continuous exits of City in the Champions League, a competition which made me feel like they were just another team. In Pep's first European campaign in 2017, he got outrun by a surprising Monaco side, getting knocked out after having a 2-goal lead into the second leg. That was fun. In 2018, they got a drumming from the heavy metal band of Liverpool in the quarterfinals. The following year, they got sent home again, this time in an unbelievable tie against Spurs, getting knocked out by an away goal. And just when they thought they were about to win the trophy, the most painful one came in 2021 final, losing to Chelsea by 1-0. Coming so close and not doing it made them obsessed. Going into the 2022-23 season, winning the Premier League would be super great. The FA Cup and the League Cup, those wouldn't be bad too. But we all knew the only trophy that team wanted to lift was the... Anything less would be considered a failure. But it was becoming like some sort of a trend. Win the league, then go on to lose in dramatic fashion in the later stages of the Champions League. Now that football is all about money and paying an extortionate amount to get elite level talent, why has a team who have spent over 1.20 billion on players not been able to bring it home? We have to look into the past. These are the last 10 winners of the Champions League. And in the past 10 years, these are the 20 clubs with the highest net spend since the start of the 2012-13 season. Of those clubs, these have gone on to win the trophy. Apart from a select few, nearly every other team on this list would be slapped out of their dream if they even dreamt of winning the Champions League. Clearly, in football, spending money helps, but to a certain point, and the best example of that is the missing club on this list, the most successful Champions League club ever, Real Madrid. With a net spend in the past decade of just minus 114 million, Real are only the 38th highest of any club in the world. To have won 5 Champions League titles in that time is remarkable. What got City to the finish line this time? Talented players? Manager? Club strategy? Or was it really money? For Man United fans, I know what their answer would be. Because back in 1998, City's noisy neighbours, Man United, became the first English team to achieve the treble. They became the golden standard on these shores. Now, as football fans, we have an unhealthy obsession with comparisons. But finally, City have got themselves into the conversation, completing their own treble. So of these two teams, which is the greatest English team of all time? I have my choice, and I'm sure you have yours. But that's just individual opinions. Let's take that out of the equation and focus on stats. I've gone through as many comparable stats available for both teams and pit them against each other. And this is what I found. Let's start with the obvious. Money. City's squad cost 768 million to assemble, but let's shoot them some bail. The only crazy transfer within all of those would be for Jack Grealish. The rest are really great buys that turn out way better than any of us expected. But when you compare that to United's squad back in the late 90s, all you can do is just laugh. United's squad cost 50 million back then. Calculating it based on inflation from 98 till this year, that's just below 100 million. That's what Jack Grealish cost. That's the easiest one out the way. Let's move on to their on-field activities, starting with a very telling similarity. Both teams have an identical finish positions for all competitions in their respective seasons, showing how dominant these teams were in their era. In the league, which I believe shows the endurance of a team, City came out on top, ending with a better stat line in every aspect of the table except losses, which United edged by losing only 3. In the FA Cup, City played less games as they weren't forced into 2 replays like United, and with 2 less games, they still scored 19 to United's 11. Then the trophy to complete the treble, including group stages and knockout games, City again outscored United whilst winning more games on their way to the trophy. Let me give you a general overview of their seasons. Excluding the League Cup because they both lost, Pep's side have 42 wins to United's 33. That's a percentage of 73.7 and 57.9 in all games played. 145 goals to 121 and 26 clean sheets to 20, scoring an average of 2.54 per game and conceding 0.68. Man City conceded only 39 goals to United's 56, compared to United's 2.12 and conceding 0.98 per game. So just based on that rundown, we see Manchester City overshadow their noisy neighbours to be the undeniable GOATs of English football. But don't get it twisted, no matter which teams come and goes, the league titles, FA Cups or even Champions Leagues they win, Man City and United are the gold standard for the GOATs of teams in English football history. For City, this achievement was never in the cards for them, but they are here, and the way it's looking, the biggest and baddest league in the world is about to turn into a farmers league. Till next time, peace!